What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with some more Arcade1Up update videos. So before we get started on this video, I want to give a huge shout out to Keo Daikin, who provided basically all the information for this video as well as all the footage for this video. Now, he was at E3 and he did a live stream with Arcade1Up. Did not really an interview, but just got to ask some questions with the people over at Arcade1Up, and also obviously show off their booth and all the new stuff that they had on display. So I'll have his channel in the link in the description down below. Make sure you guys go over there, subscribe, like, and tell him the Toy Room sent you. Just show him some support for the hard work that he did, and obviously for being generous enough to provide all that information and video over to me so I can present it to you guys. So if you guys could just return the favor back and go subscribe and like and just leave a comment on his latest video, I'd really appreciate it, and I know he would as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this video. So as we all know, E3 got underway today. The doors finally opened for E3, and Arcade1Up obviously had some information leaked yesterday on their brand new cabinets with the Marvel Superheroes cabinet and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet. Now, the big rumor is that everyone's talking about today is that there is a third cabinet underneath like a curtain or whatever in the Arcade1Up booth, but they are not revealing it yet. They are more than likely going to be revealing it tomorrow, but it doesn't look like today they are going to be revealing it. However, the big rumor around the internet today is that it is going to be a Star Wars Atari cabinet. Now, that is just a rumor, nothing's been confirmed yet, but all signs are pointing to that, and it looks like more than likely that will be revealed tomorrow. But again, nothing confirmed, all just rumors and speculations at this point in time. Now, with that being said, there wasn't anything that we didn't already know about in the booth today. However, we did get a bunch of new information about the cabinets that were leaked and revealed yesterday with the Marvel Superheroes and the Ninja Turtles cabinets. But I want to start with first this huge display piece that they had on display. This thing is absolutely insane. A 16-foot cabinet, and it's just jumbo sized. All the buttons are big, just everything about it is huge. You have to climb up a set of stairs just to reach up and get to play it. It's just crazy. I never thought in my life I'd ever see anything like that. The pictures are just insane. Seeing it in the live stream was just crazy, and I really wish I could be there to experience that, because that just looks like, that's just something you wouldn't believe unless you see it in person. Even looking at the pictures, it's still just, it's hard to believe. It's just so crazy, but it's so cool. Such a cool concept, and a great way to bring people over to the Arcade1Up booth for E3. Now, some of the new information that we found out for the cabinets, we'll start with the Ninja Turtles cabinet. So I actually found this out yesterday after I posted my video, but the Ninja Turtles cabinet as well as the Marvel Superheroes cabinet is going to have stereo sound. So finally we're getting two speakers versus the one mono speaker that we've been getting in all the other cabinets, and the speakers are now going to be mounted basically like underneath the marquee, sort of by like the top of the screen area, and the sound's obviously going to be projected down now versus instead of being projected up. So there's no longer going to be speakers in the control deck. They will be underneath the marquee around that top of the screen area. So that is really, really good news, because from day one that's been really a complaint from everyone, is that this really needs stereo speakers instead of mono speakers, especially for games like Street Fighter where half the sound is just missing. Now, for me, I never found it to be that big of a problem. You kind of get used to it, but having the stereo speakers is going to make a huge difference. And we didn't get any specific release dates for either of these cabinets. However, they did confirm that November is when the Marvel Superheroes cabinet is going to come out, and Ninja Turtles is going to be somewhere between November, December. I would imagine December, since you got one cabinet coming out in November. We'll have to wait and see, but that is the rumor. They did say the end of the year. November has been confirmed officially by Arcade1Up, and the rumor for Ninja Turtles is either November or December. And all the cabinets going forward are going to have acrylic plates on the control deck. So no longer are we gonna have the regular overlay and then have to order the protective overlay and then put the graphics underneath that. They scrapped that whole idea. They upgraded the control decks, and now they're going to be made out of some sort of acrylic, basically what the protective overlay is already made out of, but it's going to be directly onto the control deck. It's not something separate that you have to screw on after the fact or anything like that. Looks to be really high quality, and hopefully this should hold up way longer over time, if not just hold up forever, versus, you know, the control decks before that after a couple plays, you know, they go ahead, all the artwork gets, you know, wiped off and washed out, and then you have to order the control deck with your replacement graphics. So that is good to hear. It's good to see that Arcade1Up is taking all that constructive criticism that we give them and really delivering on it. Now obviously this stuff should have been there from the beginning, but it wasn't, and they are correcting their mistakes, so that is great to see. And just like with the Series 2 of cabinets, with specifically the Mortal Kombat and Final Fight and everything that we saw at CES that had custom riser graphics, these two cabinets, being the Ninja Turtles and Marvel Superheroes cabinets, are going to have custom risers as well. Apparently they are going to be sold separately. They are not coming with the cabinet, but nothing has really been confirmed, but that is the rumor, that it will be sold separately and again to be released towards the end of the year. We'll have to wait and see, not really sure, because we, even for Series 2, we still haven't got all the cabinets that they showed off at CES, so we'll have to wait and see, but they did have them on display and they did look amazing. And just like with the risers, they also had stools on display, which they've had at display at CES, which still have not released with any other cabinets other than the 6-in-1 that's exclusive to Costco. That one does come with the stool, but it's just a generic Arcade1Up stool. It's not one of the custom stools that are themed towards the cabinet, but the rumor is that they're going to be $50 and that they will be releasing around Christmas time as well. So it looks like Arcade1Up is really trying to get all this product out for the Christmas time, for the holidays, which makes sense obviously since everyone's buying gifts and whatnot. They are trying to push everything out for that November-December time frame. And another upgrade that the cabinets are going to have is that there's no longer going to be a volume switch. So no longer you're only going to have 3 settings. Instead, it is going to be a slider, so you can adjust the volume to your liking. You're no longer going to be constricted to the 3 settings that we have now with off, low, and high. You are going to be able to adjust it to whatever setting that you want, because now it will be a slider. That is something that, along with the speakers, that everybody has been wanting, and now they are finally delivering on that, and that is also great to see. And some other upgrades to these cabinets in the Marvel Superheroes and Ninja Turtles cabinets is that the screens are slightly tilted back to give you a little bit better of a viewing angle while you're playing. If you are tall, you do tend to have to look down towards the cabinets, and at the angle that they were originally, they weren't really that comfortable. So now with the tilted angle, this is going to give you a better viewing angle and make everything a little bit more comfortable while you're playing, and also make it a little more true to the original arcades, so that is great to see. And they're also going to have new menus. So if you look here, the menu style is just completely different. It doesn't look like anything that we've seen before. The Ninja Turtles menu actually plays music, which is pretty cool. And the Marvel Superheroes menu has this sort of like whooshing effect as you switch the games, which is also really, really cool. I like seeing that. It diversifies all the cabinets. And I really wish that all the cabinets all had like their own specific individual menus instead of having the generic one. But it is nice to see these different menus on these cabinets. So as far as the new cabinets with the Ninja Turtles and the Marvel cabinet, those are all the updates that we've been given so far. So just to recap on all that, they are going to have stereo speakers, they are going to have acrylic plates for the control decks, the risers and stools will be sold separately, the volume toggle switch is going to be a volume slider now, new menus, new sound effects, and the screens are tilted backwards. So a lot of great updates on these two cabinets here, and hopefully all these upgrades will make their way onto future cabinets. Now the other cabinets that they did have on display at E3 was the cocktail cabinets. Now we've seen these floating around for quite a while, basically for like a whole year now, and they still haven't hit retailers yet, but they are saying that they are going to be coming out towards the end of the year, again that November-December time frame, at a price point of $500. They did have the Street Fighter one on display, which we've seen numerous amount of times, and they did have the Pac-Man one on display. The Street Fighter one is going to have 12 games built in. However, on display they only had the Street Fighter 2 games. They didn't have the full list loaded in there, so they only have the Street Fighter 2 games, but the Street Fighter Alpha series I believe is going to be on there as well. But the Pac-Man one they had on display, and is going to retail with 8 games on it. So some of the games on the Pac-Man cabinet are as follows. So you have Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Pac-Land, Galaga, and Dig Dug. So that's really cool to see. Me personally, I'm not all that interested in the cocktail cabinets, but it is pretty cool to see. And you know, like I said, they have been on display for about a year now. We definitely saw them back at CES, and we saw leaked pictures way before that, and they still haven't come out. So it'll be interesting to see if they do end up coming out. But Arcade1Up is saying that they will be coming out around the end of the year at $500. And the final piece of information, and I've been seeing a lot of this everywhere, Everybody wants to know when is the Karate Champ cabinet coming out, especially since all the other cabinets for Wave 2 have already released. People are kind of going crazy wondering when is Karate Champ coming out, and Arcade1Up still doesn't know. They said they don't know, and they said they'd find out maybe in a couple weeks or so. So I don't know if they're having licensing issues with Karate Champ or what the case is, but they have them. They have no idea when they're coming out. So that's all I can tell you for that, unfortunately. So that is pretty much it for all of day 1 of E3 from Arcade1Up. And while we didn't get too much new information as far as cabinets and whatnot, we did get a lot of new information as far as just the new features that all these cabinets are going to have, with the tilted screens, the volume control, the stereo, and everything like that. So while it may not seem like much, it all adds up. So again, a huge shout out to Keo for going to E3, for sharing the footage and information with us. I truly appreciate it, and like I said, if you guys will check the link in the description, go visit his channel, subscribe, like, and tell him that JP from the Toy Room sent you. I'd really appreciate it. So that is pretty much it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link is in the description down below, as well as Keo's channel. And also check out all of my other Arcade1Up videos if I haven't said that already. So yeah, that's it. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.